Meanwhile, on top of bottom, the Mountain Wolf freeways are doing the work. Elevate by the sun, right lines down. That could be the game right there. I think it actually is.
Welcome back, Season 3 Finals. The start, it always the roughest part, and then it gets a little bit better from there. I'm Chance. This is Courage.
How are you even allowed to cast still?
Because
like,
I'm a great caster.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm saying how they're like, why aren't they worried about your voice?
I mean, I'm sure some people are worried about. Well, I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna power through it. It'll be fine.
This is the last one for the night.
The matchup. By the way, this is MLG's 99th event, which is pretty cool. So, and again, a lot of stuff is on the line. It's like a $100,000 prize pool, $40,000 for first, $25,000 for second, $18,000 for third. I don't know after that, but this is the losers semifinals. This is ISO going against Elevate. Elevate. They got upset first thing. The first thing that happened to them in this tournament, they got beat by Epsilon. Epsilon is going against OG later on today. But since then, Elevate has been playing phenomenally. ISO, the first two things they did were get Game 7 wins against Orbit, then Optic Nation, and then just recently, just a few moments ago, they got beat by Optic Gaming on main stage. But they made it interesting. They had a pretty good game against them, went to Game 6, and lost an OT on the Uplink.
I'll be honest with you, they probably should have won that game. Silly missed the one dunk, and then they got the last second dunk, so that would have put them up 7-5. Would have forced a Game 7, which Chance obviously would have been search and destroy. Optic already lost the first two SMDs, and it would have been Riot, which we all know the history of Havoc against Optic Gaming on Riot. Probably the most famous 1v4 of all of Advanced Warfare.
It would have been Cray, but nonetheless, the situation that we have going on, ISO going against Elevate, and that is certainly a tough test for them as well. Because again, ISO, they're late games the entire time. They come away when it's Game 7, but it's always a long haul for them. And Elevate, kind of similar situations, even just a moment ago when they were playing against Envy, all the way to Game 7, round number 10. So definitely expected to be a very close matchup. But so far off the break, Elevate looking phenomenal. Slack's on a 5 streak.
Slack 6-1. Continuing to dominate this hard point. He is ripping everyone in half who challenges him. He's going to be on that rotation. The timing of Dito pushing out towards the green catwalk. Picks up the one kill. One more pushing from behind, trying to stay alive. Somehow living still. Almost gets the turn on Havoc, but not able to connect with that one. The early lead out in favor of Elevate. And Slack had a couple shaky performances earlier today. Went all the way to that Game 7 with Envy. You casted that one. What was going right for this squad? What was going wrong for them?
The aggression. Anytime Elevate was being aggressive, and this even goes all the way back to the DK match, especially in S&D, they were looking phenomenal, but they can really push the pace in Hardpoint as well. The only time Envy really had any sort of light was on Compound, and that was just when they were out-rotating their opponent and they were getting all the kills. And there's also some monster performances coming out of Octane. But bar any monster performances, Elevate has been looking very good in the respawn, but of course, ISO not going to be too shabby either. But nonetheless, Elevate again has the early lead, and more importantly, they're winning the rotation over Blue, the most important hill on Bio.
Yeah, we'll see how long they can hold this one down. Earlier on today, we saw Epsilon absolutely dominate FaZe on this Blue hardpoint, doing a fantastic job of breaking the hill. Yes, it was pretty even in the score, but the fact that FaZe would give up the last 20 seconds of scrap time on Eskies to set up here, and Epsilon would break it in one solid push, shows us how strong of a team they are this weekend. Classic with that Bal setup, cutting anyone down. He's almost triple positive to start off this game number 1.
And that is huge for Elevate as well. Earlier on in the series against Envy, we saw a few slow games coming out of Classic, and if he wasn't on point, the team was not winning. So if he can turn it around, which he is doing now, getting to that triple positive margin, going to be huge for the squad. Shooting barrels as well. Dude's doing it all, and you see Elevate has more than double the score of their opponent, ISO.
Yeah, and they're going to hold on to these final 15 seconds if they can hold off this one final push from Isolation. Havoc is going to lead the charge. His one teammate has already been cut down. TJ picks up 2. Llamas last alive. Classic challenges, takes him down. Classic 17-5 on a 7 streak. A flawless hold on the Blue hardpoint. They're up by over a full minute on Isolation.
It's pretty good.
Oh, Classic's doing it with every single weapon.
Pretty good to say the least, doing everything he can. Finally gets shut down, and you can see the rotation battle, at least for the moment, won by ISO, but Elevate coming like a storm. Finally, they'll cut down. You can see Saints on the flank is causing them problems. They're going to try and get that trade, but Saints might be able to win the gunfight. Silly eventually able to shut him down, but at the very least, Saints bought his team time to get over there, but still, ISO, clean forward down for them. They're trying to get themselves back into this game.
Already, Elevate positive about 13 at the moment. They're going to try to expand on that one. They're on pace to finish this game at about positive 30. But Dito and the boys on ice are doing a fantastic job of holding top green. And just as I say that, the push from Classic and Elevate come in, Trading kills back and forth. Dito staying alive. He's got help from Silly. They're able to stop the push. So what was close to a 70-second lead has been cut down to 30, but a nice two-piece man under Slack will stop that comeback from happening.
Yep, and Elevate getting that scrap time, but nonetheless about a 40-second lead for them. But going into this middle hard point, you know, the only way you can really get any decent amount of time is you have to slay like some mofos. It has to be insane, the stuff that you pull off. And it looks like Elevate off the break are going to be able to do just that. You see a 5-streak combined with Slack and Saints, but it's going to be tough to defend ISO. You see they're taking their time to pinch from 3 different angles.
This kill can happen inside purple for Elevate. They'll be in a good spot, but no, TJ falls. The pinch coming from all different angles. Beautiful break from Isolation. That is textbook. All 4 players pushed it at the exact same moment once they got that numbers advantage, and Elevate just got picked apart. 45-second lead for Elevate. They're going to continue to try to hold on to this one.
Silly,
but
though,
if Silly has anything to say about it, he'll 1v4 him in his eyes. Gets 3. One final kill sitting there for him. His teammate cleans it up. 17 seconds left in this first rotation. Definitely still anybody's game to win. That
was a pretty nice break by ISO as well. We saw that was perfect, and they were able to hold on when Elevate was storming back. So, of course, now at the end, it goes to the contest fest. But either way, to me, that is a win in my eyes. So, but still, after the first set of rotations, it is Elevate with about a 40-point lead. Of course, though, Elevate rallying up the score even farther on this next hill.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard right now through our first 5 minutes. Yes, 135-91. Classic 23-12. Making it happen with not only the bow, but the ASM-1, obviously much more comfortable with that AR in hand. Got a chance to kind of sit back and watch the final S&D for this team. Slack went absolutely off in that Riot Search and Destroy against Envy. He's trying to do the same here. Currently 23-15. He does get cut down. Classic going to have to watch his flank.
And you see he's going to turn around at that moment, but Llama with the movement able to shut him down, at least for the time being. Still contest heavy for the final 20 seconds, but obviously they want this scrap time. It looks like ISO's in good position to come away with it. Havoc and Llama both picking up kills. Llama not able to finish that kill, but Havoc comes up behind. Still, though, Elevate pushing in, trying to get that scrap time, but just too many bodies in the hill for ISO, so they're going to get the final few seconds. Nonetheless, though, Elevate wins the rotation over to Eskies.
60-second lead again for Elevate. They're doing a fantastic job of continuing to get ahead of the opposing team. Classic in this power position with the AR. His only goal, stop any push from the red side of the map. With Slack there as well, that is going to be a brick wall of defense. Someone's trying to sneak into the window. That's Havoc. Great break from him. He's able to kind of snake from that middle bio area, double jumps onto that ledge, and gets in the bottom stairs area. 170 to 110. Chance, looking at this game right now, how does Isolation mount the comeback?
It's going to be all up to that next hill. Obviously, they want to get the scrap time in the remaining 30 seconds on this one, which they're in a decent position to do. They're going to get a next 3 down as well. But once you get down to that, 15, 10-second margin, they got to make sure they hit that rotation. The players for Elevate are already over there. You see the rotations coming in. They're spawning over by purple. ISO cannot waste any time. They have to get there ASAP, but they got to get the scrap as well. But they have to, at the very least, break blue. We saw earlier on the middle hill, they took their time, got a perfect break on that middle hill. They got to do the same thing in blue.
Well, the scrap time going in favor of Isolation, but the last time we saw Elevate on this hill, they held it for the full 60 seconds. We'll see if they can do the same thing here. Slack pushing all the way towards green. Love that decision from him. He knew how far out the enemy team just spawned. He's going to rotate towards green rails, picks up 1, spots a second below him. It does not matter. He's got the help of his teammates. Elevate looking to close this game out in this hard point alone. Still 3 players of Isolation halfway across the darn map. They have yet to come close to breaking this hill. Yeah,
ISO having a lot of problems against Elevate here. Elevate doing a fantastic job both times in a row to get the rotation as well. Of course, 3 bodies right now surrounding the hill. It looks like ISO is going to have an opportunity to break. As they do get 3 down, Silly picking up kills in the hill. As
Silly just made that whole thing happen.
And he got the 325 for it. Fantastic stuff. Nonetheless, it took them about 40 seconds to do, and they're down by 67. It might just be too little too late.
We'll have to see. One final push coming in from Elevate. They're going to grab the last few seconds of scrap time. That's an 8-second swing in their favor. Massive lead right now for Elevate. They're definitely going to close this one out unless something magical can happen for Isolation. And I just don't feel it. They used a lot of their magic in that last series versus Optic Gaming.
Well, you never know, though. Still about 50-point differential. It is still mathematically possible. The kills going in their favor. Slack trying to cause problems. Llama going to be right above him. Going to elect to go for Saints. And, well, that might cause problems because now he's too far away from the hill. His teammates, at least for the moment, weren't winning the gunfights. Havoc was able to pick 2. Then Llama actually shows up from where he was originally, picks up another 2. So, again, ISO fighting as hard as they can. They're just in such a tough position. But we did see earlier on the next hill, in that middle hard point, they did okay, but still they need every second.
Classic 34 and 23. Slack right there with them at 33 and 25. The duo leading their team to victory in game number 1. The Red Rebellion continuing to stay hot. They mentioned Tom and Jerry.
TJ.
Guess what? This is the Tom part of it. A beautiful ace of the opposing team. Making a 5th kill as well. He's on a 5 streak. He can't be stopped at the moment. TJ Alley. Go on, my friend. Just putting on a show in the final minute of this game.
Yeah, and that's the nail in the coffin. ISO, you know, technically it was possible for them to do it, but as soon as TJ basically cleared out the green flat hill by himself, it was more or less over, and he let it ride into the next hill. And you see Elevate just in complete control. They're trying to close this one down at 250. Saints is out here killing teammates because he can do whatever he wants because it doesn't matter. Elevate has taken map number 1.
Yeah, they're trying to make the statement, hit that 250 marker. Not sure if it's going to happen. Now, Chance. Was this a must-win map in your eyes for Isolation, or can they afford to lose the first hardpoint?
No, because we saw what they were doing against Optic Gaming. They weren't winning the respawns, but they were winning all of the S&D. So if they can continue that, that's obviously 3 maps in this series. So if they drop 1 hardpoint, I don't see it as being a huge deal, but at some point they either have to clutch up on the next one or win the uplinks.
Game number 1, going to that man right there who is standing up, high-fiving his teammates. That's Nicky D, a.k.a. Classic. 1-0 lead for the Red Rebellion. There's a look at your scoreboard, 37 and 27. 6 captures and 2 defense from Classic. 35 and 28 from Slack. A really well-rounded effort from Elevate when you look at all things considered. ISO, yes, they were able to hold their own, but the blue hardpoint was a big difference maker for me in this game. You saw probably a 70 to 80 second swing combined on the 2 in favor of Elevate. Something that ISO has to work on is the rotations over there and their setups to lock down that hill. Chance, up next, we have Solar Search and Destroy. Give me a round count prediction. Who wins that game?
6-1, ISO.
All right, we'll see if he's correct. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, game number 2, Search and Destroy. Something big just happened on the main stage. I think Denial just beat FaZe in map number 1. And guess what? Over here, Elevate just beat ISO in map number 1. And now we're going into Solar Search and Destroy. Prior to that break, Chance, you said ISO would win this one 6-1. I think you're completely wrong. I think we're going to see Elevate win this one 6-4.
Real quick, just to jump back in the main stage match, do you remember who beat Denial first thing in this tournament to put him in losers? Was it Epsilon?
Yeah.
Or was that who beat Elevate?
Epsilon.
Who was Epsilon? So think about what happened in DC.
Epsilon's beat Elevate. They beat Denial. And they beat Saves.
Okay, but think about what happened. Denial, first thing that happened at DC, they got beat first round by TK. The very first thing they did.
They got all the finals.
And then they got to second, and they pulled off second place. So they're going to try to make another loser's bracket run. Meanwhile, ISO trying to help my prediction be right, getting off to a hot start, getting the first 2 bloods. They're looking good to take this round away.
1 versus 3. TJ Halley getting pushed by Havoc, picks up 1 kill. Now it's going to be a 1v2. Dito just looking straight down that bottom pipes hallway. Gets the kill with the wall bang. Heads up shots from him. First round going to isolation, and this is their bread and butter chance, search and destroy. They love this game mode.
Oh, and Dito is absolutely ice cold when he is playing. We saw him get a crazy 1v2 clutch when he was playing against Out the Gaming. Pulled off a dirty shot against Formal, and they showed the player cam, and he's just as calm as could be. 0 reaction out of him, so Dito gonna be on fire in this S&D, so look out for that guy. Of course, he only got 1 kill, but hey, only 1 round in the books. What can you really expect? ISO being back on offense. Let's see what they can pull off.
Well, right now we're on board with the isolation guys. Dito trying to strike first blood on Saints, not able to pick up the kill. A very confident challenge from Classic. It looks like they want to counter aggression with aggression of their own. Silly last alive now. The 1v3 tables have been flipped. First it was TJ, now it's Silly. He's able to pick up 1 kill on TJ. Gonna rotate back towards middle map, does not have the bomb. Released by Classic at the top. No, he accidentally dashes down. We saw Crim6 do something like that earlier on this year on Riot Search and Destroy, in which he lost a 1v2. Slack picking up that kill, continuing to dominate in Search and Destroys. 14 kills in the last 11 rounds of S&D he's played.
Difference there, though. Even if he had gotten that first kill, the players were in completely different lines of sight. Earlier on, Crim6 had both the players lined up right next to each other. So you can pat me on the back all you want, Jack. I'm going to kill you. Either way, though, ISO back on defense. We're able to clutch up once. We're going to see what goes down. You see Elevate taking the bomb to Ed.
Oh,
and never mind.
Silly hits him with a yup daisy.
Another
one on TJ.
Even with the cold-blooded, sees them all. He's going to get the ace. Calling it now.
Holy shoot. Trying to stay alive is Silly. The bomb down at the bottom of the glass wall. Slack underneath pipes. Top lot area is Saints. He's 0-1. Slack sitting at 3-1, leading his team in score. Tough spot to be in for the boys of Elevate. Nice kill out of Slack. Caught in an awkward position.
I love how you switch away from Silly. I called him to go for the ace. He gets the first 2. Like, what more does the guy have to do to earn the player game? Of course, Saints last alive in a 1v3. They are hunting him down. He's just to the left. The shots are going to go in. Let Silly get it. But no, Havoc going to clean that one up in the end. It's because you switch away from him, Jack. I don't know what you're about.
Chance lied to me. No big deal. Isolation now in the lead, 2-1. Here's your final kill from Havoc. Nothing too special. Just gets that 1 bullet kill. What would you like to see from Elevate now as they go over to the offensive side of things, or defensive side of things, sorry, to kind of stop the aggression from ISO? Obviously, last time they met aggression with aggression. What would you like to see them pull out here in round number 4?
I've been saying it the entire time for when Elevate is playing. They are at their best when they are playing aggressive as a team. When they've been playing passive, you know, they're able to get around here and there, but it has not been as effective for them. We even saw the previous round on defense. They played aggressive at B. They won their gunfights. This time, though, Llama's just going to get complete caught with his pants down, more or less, and Slack going to be able to turn that into a 2-piece, and he's just going to make my prediction wrong by himself. Yes,
Slack gets a third, 1 kill away from the ace. It doesn't matter. Elevate already 2 rounds on the board. Not sure what that play was from Llama. That is the example of being reckless in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Slack over triple positive in the first 4 rounds.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's kind of a situation where Elevate, when they're playing passive, Llama already knew that they had control of that bomb site. So instead of putting it down, and this is something Mr. X was harping on him for, he has the bomb, and when he's pushing up pass, he is putting his team in ridiculously tough situations. And, of course, Elevate going to be able to capitalize and take full advantage. Now, though, tied up series at 2-2, we're going to see who gets that first offensive win.
Nice nades out of Slack. He's done that time and time again this weekend. I'd put him up there with replays as one of the best spawn naders in Advanced Warfare, especially, obviously, in Search and Destroy. Llama left in the 1-on-4. He gets cut down. A quick, easy, and painless round for Elevate.
That's such a weirdly specific title to give somebody. They're one of the best spawn naders in the game. Got to give props where props is due, though. Clearly, the kill's working out for me. So far, what we've seen in this S&D, just ridiculously lopsided rounds, you know? It's never been like a 1v1 clutch situation towards the end. It's always like all 4 down in a row, or maybe one guy stays alive in a 1v3, but just complete domination back and forth. But obviously, Elevate now with the advantage.
Chance, We're rooming together this weekend. Who gets the bed tonight? Who gets the couch?
Well, when you put it like that, you're going to be sleeping in the hall.
Dude, that's offensive. First you threatened to kill me on stream. Now you're telling me I'm sleeping in the hallway when I'm a part of the darn room. 3-2. Your prediction was already wrong. Mine, it's definitely still plausible. Havoc leading his team towards that bottom fans area. Bomb planted by Llama. The push coming from Elevate. Slack picks up first blood. He's already at 10-2 on a 6 streak. I don't know why I even stopped watching him. Dito now tries to challenge. Slack trying to stay alive. Gets shot in the back by Llama. Llama picks up 2 that round. Saint and TJ. Gonna take down Silly. 1v1. Saint's able to stay alive. He's gonna go back and immediately try to challenge Llama. Llama's ready for him. Saint's putting in shots. Llama trying to stay alive.
Challenges.
He cuts down Saints. 3-3. It's all tied back up.
I love the pro player logic. Like, hey, I'm one shot, ask her, let's go for it. Even Llama, he was getting shot up, immediately comes back to go for the pre-fire. Obviously, it worked out a little bit better for them. ASM1, close range engagement. Maybe Saints wasn't expecting it. Nonetheless, though, ISO able to tie that one up. Each team being able to win that offensive round.
Chance,
what's up?
Coming into this one,
yeah,
you were saying that this is going to be a good match. By good match, do you mean that you could see this going the distance?
Definitely. Unfortunately, because my voice is horrible, I definitely expected to go to Game 7.
Really? You think in spite of you, they're going to make it go all as long as possible?
Without a doubt.
Game 7, round 11, but they're going to need a reset twice. This is going to be an issue with the lobby. They're going to have to add up the score, and we're going to have to kill time and stuff like that.
And overtime in the uplinks, of course. ISO in this round looking pretty good. Able to get the first 2.
They're going to want to play a game of CTF, too, for Game 8 and let the series keep going, because a Game 7 won't determine it.
Might even switch over to Black Ops 2 just to get, like, you know, both series coming in.
Yeah, now you're just being ridiculous. But back to this game, 1v3 for TJ again. This is very similar to what we saw earlier on, caught in that bottom pipes hallway. He actually should be able to sneak out of here. You can see the positioning not the best in my eyes.
They're just watching both angles.
Yeah, but, I mean, he could have snuck out there, gotten on top of that pipes without being spotted. There, tries to flip through bottom middle. The kill comes in. He didn't have to go left when he ran outside that door. He could have just gone right, and they would have seen him leave.
Get bombed, though.
Okay, then he goes on the top pipes area and goes with an AR up against an ASM1.
Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't make a difference because it's not what happened. Slack, though, again, you said it before, having a pretty nice game. He's 11-4 and we're only 7 rounds in.
Josiah Berry's pretty good at Call of Duty.
He's good at basketball, too.
He just learned that this weekend because I told you. Oh, look what Silly's got out. If my prediction is going to be right, Chance, Elevate needs to win 3 straight rounds. See what winds up happening. Silly with that Moors, checking from bottom P1. Sun coming into Dito, not going to connect. Classic getting first blood on Dito. They're going to push all the way through top maps area. Havoc answering back on TJ. No trade kill coming in. That's a big kill in this round. Alive in P1 is Silly, too. We'll end up picking up that bow.
There's a player, though, right now for Elevate. Well, that's going to be Classic. Able to kill the bomb carrier. Silly not quite watching the flank effectively enough, of course. Havoc eventually going to even the odds up at 2-2, but Silly's got 2 players to deal with it. Don't know if they're going to push him or if they're going to hang back. It looks like they're going to make moves together, and Silly might get caught off guard. Of course, that bomb's still down over by that A street, and it looks like they have an opportunity, Havoc, just to go pick it up and put that down. Pick it up and put it down.
He did see the boost towards the top glass wall. This should be a free kill on Silly if done correctly. There it is. A trade trying to come in from Havoc. They spotted him pushing through bottom middle cuts. It's now a 1v1. Slack versus Havoc. Havoc gets the better of him. One of those major moments that goes in ISO's favor. They've done it time and time again. They did it earlier on against Optic Gaming in S&D. Havoc getting up close and personal with that ASM1. Confident in his shot. Wins that round for his squad with the ace.
I was about to say, that was horrible COD timing for Slack as well. Had that bottom cut pre-aimed. As soon as he looks away, Havoc jumps in, wins the first gunfight. Yeah, and then the ASM1 in a close range environment, Havoc making it work. So we've seen him get aces against a lot of good teams. And again, 5-3 in round count right now for ISO. They are looking pretty good to shut this down. Elevate, though, coming out with the aggression over towards that A bomb site. But of course, they are being waited by
Silly.
the ISO boys. And Silly is just destroying. And you don't watch Silly anymore. I don't know why.
Saints left in the 1-on-4. Not going to happen. ISO winning that game at number 2. It's now all knotted up at 1 apiece. Elevate versus Isolation. Chance, you're not going to be able to speak tomorrow.
Not a chance. Well, not a chance. Wow, that's terrible. You know, prediction was wrong. I said 6-1 in like a kind of ridiculous way, but we did talk about it a little bit in more serious manner. ISO, we know, is really good at the S&D. They kind of struggle in the respawn. So you can even kind of off the bat say, hey, they have the advantage to kind of go up 3-0 in the series just because of the S&Ds, but they have to pull a respawn. Of course, Elevate, they can't afford to lose one at all.
Not only are Isolation very good at their search and destroys, they've already won 2 Game 7s. They've won both their S&Ds versus Optic. They just won their one against Elevate. If this goes to Game 7, I'm taking ISO. I'm sure you're taking ISO. Don't go anywhere. Game number 3 going to be Uplink on Parliament. Stay tuned. Courage, Chance, Isolation, Elevate, Game 3, Uplink, Parliament, Bravo Stream, Losers Bracket, loser goes home, winner moves on, Championship Sunday. I'm wearing pants.
He's lying.
You can see him here. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, you can see the pants. I didn't even realize that was going on.
You can see the pants.
Man, that kind of hurts the fact that I'm wearing jeans now, too. Now people are going to know at home that I'm not professional.
I'm wearing a full suit.
What's going on out here? Of course,
I was
Parliament
about to
Uplink.
show it off.
Going to be the map that's coming up soon. Parliament, an interesting one to say the least. We saw actually Isolation play on this earlier. They almost beat Optic Gaming. They fell short at the very end.
Literally. They literally fell short.
Yeah, no, I'm good like that.
You weren't thinking of it that way.
But I planned that.
You didn't plan that. Silly,
legitimately
legitimately fell short. He didn't get the dunk in. You didn't plan that. You're not witty enough to think that far.
Would it be witty if I thought of it on the spot, which is what happens? It doesn't mean I am witty. Jack is frozen right now. Dito's picking up 2 pieces. I'm getting hype, and my voice is giving out. Of course, right now, Silly pushing up, but his lead blocker going to get killed, so he's going to convert, go for the 1-point toss.
Picked
but
off by Slack
gets the interception, as we see time and time again from the boys on Elevate.
I mean, when TJ got out of this team, I think he taught the rest of the squad how to get interceptions in AW. TJ always widely considered as one of the best at it in this game mode ever since UMG Orlando, when he made those ridiculous plays with Stunner Gaming. Leading the charge is Slack and the Saints. 4 ARs for this Elevate team. No surprise there. Havoc trying to stop the aggression. Slack takes him down. TJ will grab this drone. After a minute of play, nobody's got on the board.
What kind of movement is that? In mid-jump, throwing out nades to try and kill enemy players. TJ obviously going to be on point, as are most, if not all, of the pro players. But of course, now all of the kills going in favor of Elevate. 2 points on the board.
I'd love to see one person stay back. They have no one there to rally the drone. As it drops back in, they're having to send people. Slack gets there in time. One person had stuck through that middle hallway. That was Dito. All the way in the backside of the map is Havoc. 4-0 lead now for Elevate. That's what makes this side so strong. When you get control of the enemy's base, you can continue to rally it in. Havoc doing a fantastic job of getting on that flank. He's going to stop the aggression from Elevate.
And we even saw, though, on that flank, that's something you can do on comeback. Just give away some points, rotate around, get control of the spawn. But here you can see, because he went on that rotation, gave up 2 sets of points just because of how much bigger this map is than comeback uplink. But of course, you don't see it a lot just because the map is only played on about half of it. And now, by the way, Dito's about to get a 2-point dunking, excuse me. Goes for it at the very end.
That again.
Even though Saints win for the 2-piece right there, but nonetheless, ISO making it interesting. But again, you go on that rotation, you're going to give up 2 scores, not just 1.
Well, a 1-point toss coming in. That'll connect with TJ. The stun hitting Llama and throwing off his shot completely. Dito, the final remaining line of defense, and he gets 2. Tries to spot the 3rd, but doesn't connect with that kill. Saints going for the 1-point toss. He'll whiff completely. We've seen so many misses on this map. And in my eyes, that has to do with the fact that, well, it's one of the newer maps on this rotation. Teams don't play it too often outside of, obviously, league matches, but UMG doesn't have this map played. These guys weren't at the last Gfinity when they had it. So, a lot of misses coming in from either of these teams, and just teams in general on Parliament.
ISO, though, right now, just trying to stop the bleeding. Of course, only down by a few points, and they are on the bad side, so it's more or less as expected. And you can see Silly right now just trying to keep control of this drone area right over by Flowers. Of course, TJ leading the charge for his squad. Dito's going to win the gunfight against him. Of course, Havoc was actually able to take him down. Nonetheless, though, ISO right now in control.
Dito doing all he can to try to stop this aggression. He gets turned on by the opposing player. TJ only 5 kills to his name. Silly only 4 to his name. He was a monster with that Moors in Search and Destroy. But Solar, if you are just tuning in, the loser of this match goes home. They do not have an opportunity to win the championship. They leave this venue forever. I'm just kidding, just for this. Llama pushing up towards this drone area, gets cut down by Saints. 5-2 lead. Elevate still in control.
ISO, though, has control of the drone at the very least. They're able to pick up the first 2 kills. Slack going to be one of the first players on Elevate on that defensive stand. Of course, Classic going to help him out as well. That drone is going to be down in a bit of a tough spot. Slack about to jump off the map. Somehow able to stay alive, and nonetheless, that drone has gotten reset. Elevate successfully able to stop that push.
Yeah, the drone just got reset. We're going to see if Elevate can get control of the Flowers side of the map. Both these teams pushing towards that area. Kills going in favor of Isolation. Dito grabbing that drone. Really go for the railing toss or really try to go for the 2-point play. Looking like he wants to get aggressive for the 2-point play. That's going to wind up hurting him. He had 2 teammates still alive, but because he took that awkward angle, it bounced right off the side of the ship. That's going to reset a misscoring opportunity for Isolation.
Of course, they do still have a player in the base causing problems. It looks like TJ was actually able to clean up Silly. He's going to be able to get Dito as well as the Llama. Going to be the last one up near his team. Dito's getting some help as well. Able to pick up 2. Now they're going to start making moves with the drone once again.
That's the advantage right there. Heads-up play to drop the drone, picked up 2 kills. Trying to grab it and going for the objective yet again. 20 seconds remaining. Still an opportunity for a point to be scored for either of these 2 teams. Don't think it's going to happen, though. As side number 1 begins to wind down, really anyone can still take this game. Isolation doing a pretty fine job of holding off their base on the the less preferred side, I should say. One thing to remember is that 4 of the points for Elevate were scored in a matter of 8 seconds with 2 rallies. The 1-point toss coming in. Falling just short, another missed 1-point play for these teams.
Either way, though, here's the question. 3-point lead right now, 2-possession game. Is it going to be enough?
Well, that remains to be seen. Here's your final kill cam from Havoc, 22-11, putting on a show. No one's even close to matching the amount of kills he has in this game. God, Big Ben is exploding in the background. That's hurtful to see. It's a fellow European.
NA, or what is your name? UK Benson, UK Jack, I don't know, you're something like that. Either way, though, Benson's better, so you can see ISO trying to get the scores right off the bat. They need control, though. Or NA Ben, there you go. That's what it is.
Maybe if you weren't sick, you'd actually know, Chance.
Maybe. I don't know. What I do know is Elevate is in control of the drone. They're trying to push up Tito on the defensive stand. Only able to get one. Classic staying on the map as well. And Elevate really just needs to waste time. He can honestly sit right here for the entire time if he gets kills. Drone gets reset or go for the crazy 1-point toss. Able to connect. Dies, and Saints and Slack kill the remainder of the team of ISO.
And because you can see Slack all the way in the opposing team's base, he's spawning them in middle map. Will they get the cutoffs in time? Saints loses the first gun battle. The drone falls to a nade by TJ Halley, actually, in the opposing team's base. That's going to give up all map position. Driving with Elevate Llama going for the 1-point toss. That'll get picked off by Slack again. Josiah with his second interception of the game.
Without a doubt, fantastic plays. Elevate making the distance seem even further as every single second ticks by. Silly is going to be causing problems, but Classic able to shut him down. And again, ISO is struggling to get points on the board. Even when they get control of the drone, even when they get control of Elevate's spawn, they're just not able to get any points on the board.
Looking at this right now, I haven't seen anything too crazy from either team. Kind of expected this coming into Parliament. Uplink. Elevate, though, this is a map that a lot of people thought that they would struggle with because they don't have a dedicated AR on this team. 4 sub players when this team change happened. People thought, no way they're good at a map like Parliament. Right now, they're up 6-2. Our next map we're going to play is Hardpoint on Detroit. Not quite sure how I feel about that one. Chance, do you have any predictions for that next map?
It depends on whoever wins this. Whoever wins this one wins the next one as well.
Really?
So Elevate going to be in good shape. And again, the respawn game mode has been in their favor. They did pretty well in the first Hardpoint as well. But of course, they're going to have to continue to stop anything Isolation is putting together. And you can see with that push, they're going to do just that. That's a clean all 4 down. Of course, they're just going to go for that 1-point task. Classic going to be able to convert that one to make it now a 3-possession game.
Elevate slowly but surely pulling away. They're not being greedy. They're trying to make sure they have map control before they move the drone. That's a gun battle that TJ just has to win. Llama with the better shots on that occasion. Somehow he's still alive and picks up a kill on Slack. Heads up play from Llama to kill the player on the flank. Silly and the boys of ISO are going to have one more 3v3 gun engagement here near the flowers area of the map. This controls a lot of the map positioning, and it looks like Silly's going to get it, and the rest of the team are going to get absolutely decimated.
Yeah, that is another clean 4 down for Elevate. Last time around, they were able to turn that into a 1-point play, and I expect they're going to be able to do the exact same thing. Worst case scenario, they have to get 1. Silly able to make 1 defensive stand. TJ Halley able to juke around.
Oh, the beatdown from Silly
at the very end, but still that drone in a nice spot. But of course, finally the reset coming in, and ISO clears out their base.
That's a nice play from Silly. Just saved his team 2 points. Instead of being 9-2, it's only 7-2. Putting some shots down on TJ. I like that ISO, they immediately try to push flowers and get map control. What I don't like is that it just seems like if they lose 1 gunfight, they lose 4. You get what I'm saying? Their trading isn't that great. They just kind of all die and have to hope that they can defend their base. And that's why Elevate keep just tossing in and peppering in 1-point plays. With 1 minute and 30 seconds left, ISO need to turn things around quick. They had to remain scoreless on the second side, which would be honestly the more preferred side.
Yep, without a doubt, and it's, you know, the only 1-point tosses that they've been able to get off at all have just been interception, and they've really been struggling to get any sort of offensive momentum going. You can see their Slack picking up the kills, despite the fact that ISO has control of that drone. They can't push it up the map at all. Elevate has been doing fantastic in just controlling the opposition this entire second half.
1 minute left. You're going to need to see a flawless final play from Isolation. They try to send Dito towards middle map, and Classic has been lights out all game long, 28-22. Picking up that headshot. He's going to kill Silly, who's near the drone. Would love to see Classic just pick this one up and toss it for the 15-second reset. But he's trying to chase down these kills. Havoc gets the better from there. 40 seconds left. I don't think this is happening a chance.
Not at all. I mean, we kind of expected Elevate to be the slightly better respawn team, and we expect Isolation to be the slightly better S&D team. So whichever team can kind of outperform the other in their weaker game mode, it's going to be the difference maker, obviously. You know, Havoc at the end trying to get a last-ditch effort, somehow able to get that 1-point toss off, and it looks like he connected with it as well. But again, 20 seconds, 4-point game. It's not going to make a difference. That is going to be another win for Elevate Gaming.
Nice stuff for the Red Rebellion. 31-23 from Classic. Havoc, yet again, doing all he can for this squad. 32-25. But Llama, 19-31. That is not what you need out of one of your players.
Not at all. Not at
all.
That is the correct thing. And
Chance, I think you and I are pretty drained at the moment. You've been struggling. I need someone to just punch me in the face.
What are you trying to say? I thought I've been doing a decent job. You're telling me I'm struggling?
I mean,
trying to demoralize me?
Chance, you're a fantastic caster, but you sound like you're not even human right now.
Sound like they took my throat through a meat grinder. Yeah, no, it's been pretty bad. Hopefully, though, it'll get better.
Grinder, okay? I mean, I guess that's how meat grinders sound. Guys, don't go anywhere. Game number 4 up next, Detroit Hardpoint. Stay tuned. Game 4 about to be underway. Another Hardpoint. Elevate right now. 2 respawn wins to their name. Isolation, 1 S&D win. Chance, Isolation need to sneak a respawn. Is this going to be the one that they take?
Yep.
All right, you heard it from this man. His voice is cracking, but the one thing that's not cracking is his game knowledge. I don't know if that made any sense, but the Isolation squad are going to be spawning as your Sentinel team. Elevate, on the other side of things, none of them have spawned into the game. This is looking like we're going to have a reset. Yeah, that's going to be
Saints 1v4 against Isolation
he can do it.
Empire.
We've seen him do crazier things.
No, I don't think we have. 1v4 in Hardpoint, that'd be the craziest thing that's ever happened in Columbus.
I love Renato. He's wearing like green socks with like slip-on sandals. It's a new fashion statement, apparently.
How do you know that?
I looked at him before, and me, Zuma, and replays were laughing at him.
You ever seen Shawshank Redemption?
I haven't yet, but I know it's one of the biggest box office movie flops in history, and then it became really popular once it went on DVD.
How have you never seen Shawshank Redemption?
Never got the opportunity to.
That's ridiculous. A man, you never look at a man's shoes. Apparently, you're not a man because you look at people's feet. I don't know, whatever the deal is. Maybe the
that
green
movie
socks.
came out in 1994.
Oh,
this is 2015.
No, hold
much
on.
More
Good question.
people.
Have you ever seen the old Disney motocross movie where it's like a girl takes place for her brother because the brother gets injured? No, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a scene in there where she is using green fingernail polish, and then people start copying her because they think it's the stuff. So maybe if Saints starts demolishing this, people are going to start wearing green socks. Or not. It's a good movie. I bet the chat knows what's going on. Just because you're clueless doesn't mean the people are. You haven't seen Shawshank Redemption. I don't care what you know about movies. God.
Are you done talking?
This is what I have to work
Are you done talking?
You should be talking more than me. I don't even have a voice. Please take over at any second. Talk as long as you want.
You were rambling about Disney movies and the Shawshank Redemption. I'm trying to get this game number 4 started. 2 host resets. Now we're going back into things. Neutral hosts here on LAN. Detroit Hardpoint is loading on my screen. Detroit Hardpoint's loading on your screen. Game number 4. Elevate's up 2-1. You think this is the one that Elevate loses? Why?
I just because of the way you asked, I figured I'd say yes. Although, honestly, to be fair, when we saw Elevate playing Hardpoint earlier, they were able to win the more battle-heavy maps, the more long-distance ones, and then they lost on Compound Hardpoint, where the action was fast, everything was close range. Okay. Detroit, a little bit bigger than Compound is, but again, maybe the fast pace on this, at least, obviously, the fast pace pays off for Elevate in the S&D game mode. But maybe Hardpoint, that's going to be the difference maker. But it is going to take some very nice performances out of both Silly and Havoc. We're going to see what happens.
All the start, Havoc trying to hop inside pit, picks up 1 kill on Slack. Havoc playing very aggressive for the squad. trying to continue to match the aggression that you'll see sometimes from this Elevate team. Off the start, Elevate able to get the break on this hard point. They're down by 2.
Well, you know, it was an okay start from the boys on isolation, and then it was a quick 4 down, and Elevate completely took over. However, a bit more back and forth. Now you still see TJ was trying to milk that hill time, but he is going to get taken down. Saints trying to get him in from up top, is able to pick up 2. Going to get that 325 on his screen, starting off 4-0 with the cap to his name.
This is when Saints is scary. When he does stuff like
Yeah.
that, now 5-0, just playing confidently when weak, deciding to challenge again. Elevate now up 22-11. They've held this hard point for about 26 straight seconds now, and they're going to win the early rotation to green. Who's this trying to flank the pin? That's Dito picking up 1 kill on Slack and top Atlas. You should see Saints rotate over here towards the school side of things to cut down Dito. He hasn't adjusted as of yet. Dito might be able to catch his opposing team off guard.
Dito trying to go around back with his teammate, able to get that cleanup kill, and you see 3 players right now for isolation, trying to push in the back, trying to push in from the side. It's a successful break, at least for the moment. Llama was able to pick up 1. He's going to get traded. Dito trying to cover the front now as well, and you can see Elevate spawn has been forced out. ISO able to take over, but Slack causing problems. Finally, Silly's able to drop him.
Slack, seeing obviously that the hill was picked up by the opposing player, immediately just turns and starts pre-firing and gets the kill almost instantly. 37-20 is Classic, and the boys on Elevate. Classic going to go for that break. He takes down Llama. The push continuing from Havoc, though. They're just going to try to flood it in 1 by 1, and it's not going to work when you have Saints left triggering with an ASM-1.
Yeah, and you know, I kind of thought that isolation was going to be able to take away the victory, but not if Saints is playing like this. He's back in his old form. You saw earlier, I think it was when he was playing TK, he had the most kills in the lobby, the least amount of deaths, the most caps, and the most events. He was literally doing it all. He was a force to be reckoned with, and obviously 9-6, not the most hot start in the world, but even Slack is putting in some work too, and you can see Elevate with control of Garage.
For me, that's the definition of when someone says, yo, he just went off. That means that they dominate, they led in kills, they had near the least amount of deaths, they led in captures, they led in defense, or something similar in Uplink, or S&D, where they kind of lead in all the positive categories. Right now, Dito definitely making a name for himself on that respect, but the rest of his team kind of faltering a little bit. Dito now on a 4 streak, make it 6 after the body stack. He'll swap over to that ASM-1 as he gets challenged again. Havoc is there to help. The final 20 seconds of this hard point could go over to ISO. That would bring them within 10.
And I said Havoc needs the social life. He started out slow, but he's going to be on a 3 streak now, keeping control for his team, but eventually Elevate is able to completely flip that hill. They're in great position to lock down the final few seconds, and they're trying to get that rotation battle as well.
I think Silly thought that he had Classic dead, and he just started dashing and running away with it. And Classic just turned and immediately hit his shots. Beautiful screen centering from Nicky D. 35 seconds left, or 35 seconds between these two teams. Silly doing all he can to try to lead his squad to victory. You can see the Elevate lineup right there in that little picture-in-picture. Great stuff from our technical director, Ethan. He's just so proud of himself for that one. He got up and pointed to me on the screen right in front of me on our program out monitor just to make sure I noticed it.
Yeah, without a doubt. Meanwhile, while that's going on, ISO has taken over on this Hotel Hill, of course. They're still trying to get back in this game, down by just a little bit, but Llama has a laser beam at the moment. You can see every single person on their team, until Silly died, was on a kill streak.
Looks like Elevate's going to give us one more push. That player pushing down middle ambulance, that's TJ. He's going to be the big difference maker on this one. He gets 1 kill. There's 1 final player remaining inside window. He'll get the beat down on that. The final 7 seconds of scrap time going in favor of Elevate. They're going to be narrowly in the lead, but the rotation over to school is 100% in favor of isolation.
Yeah, they have completely turned it around, led by Dito. Dito, sometimes you see him in hard points, not too many engagements to his name. Plays slow with the bout sometimes, but obviously he is doing everything he needs to right now. Sitting at 19 and 12. Havoc not going to hit those shots, and Llama's going to take him out to make him pay the price.
Surprised Havoc went for that challenge on Middle Street. Do you agree with that one, or would you like to rather see him stay alive instead of the hard point, maybe pre-aim fire or lockers in that situation?
Well, I mean, in a situation like that, there's not much you can really judge any player for. Obviously, when he dies, technically made the wrong decision, but they get, 50, 60 gun engagements per map. Obviously, a few of them are going to make mistakes without a doubt. More important thing, though, is, bouncing back from that, but Elevate, again, in full control. Slacks has been having a very nice game. 9 caps to his name, sitting in the hill, milking the hill time, and on a kill streak.
Now you can see isolation in your picture-in-picture. Silly leading his squad, and score Slack pre-firing everything, 23 and 15. 9 captures, was on a 6 streak. And let's talk about TJ really quick on this lineup, Chance. Always seeming to just hold his own. It's not necessarily massive numbers or 45 bombs, but he's just always putting up the kills he needs to. When you have a consistent player like that on your team, what does it do for you? Obviously, he replaced Apathy, if I'm not mistaken, who we saw this weekend was a little bit inconsistent. Do you think this team improved after Apathy was removed?
I would say so. Obviously, they got
traded,
second in the league. They certainly have a lot to prove as well, but obviously they were able to outplay Apathy's team, so based on that, you could definitely make that argument. And even having a consistent player, it's just so nice to have. That's just one less thing to worry about while you're playing. Also, TJ, really good at Uplink, pretty darn good at S&D as well. A nice person to have on your roster.
Funny thing to point out is Slack is typically considered one of the weaker S&D players on this team. It's what I was talking about with a couple pros while they were facing Envy in that Game 7. He went off in that one. He went off in the Game 2 of this series, even though his team lost. We'll see if he's able to bring things back in his favor in Game 5 after this, which is Search and Destroy and Recovery. But the lead's still in favor of Elevate. This reminds me a lot of the game number 1 in this series, if I'm not mistaken, where Elevate got the lead and they just kept holding it and holding it and holding it. They weren't letting the opposing team back into it. They continue to keep a nice little buffer between the two squads, and right now they're pushing all the way down middle street. TJ just cut down Silly. Great stuff from everyone on the Elevate squad.
Well, as you say, great stuff by the Elevate squad. ISO able to completely take over, led by Havoc, able to pick up 3, trying to force those back spawns as well. Of course, Elevate gonna be right there, trying to get those remaining 20 seconds. Silly, though, getting a nice 2P, staying alive, gonna convert, get the 3rd. Dito picks up the 4th, and that is a clean break right there from Isolation. They're gonna get the final 15 seconds, but they're gonna have to break Garage pretty quickly as well.
Well, scrap time going over to ISO. They're within 25. The game is not over with 3 minutes remaining. But I just don't know if they're going to make it happen. This hardpoint last time, Elevate did a fantastic job of. Yes, it was broken once or twice, but they would regain control with ease. TJ finding those kills in middle map. He's on a 4 streak. We'll hop on board with him to see where he's positioning himself. Right now, it's in the closet doorway.
Yep, and you see this is another instance where ISO makes sure to wait where all 4 of the teammates are pushed up together so they can move in at the same time. Elevate, though, winning the gunfight. Zito in the back. He went on a 6 streak last time around, but the break not quite successful. Elevate able to get back in. ISO, though, with the good spawns, but they're going to have to get in fast. 29 seconds left on this hill. They're down by 45. Now, of course, the hotel hill last time around was where ISO was really able to crank up the pressure, but still, it's not going to make a difference if you're down by 60 points.
Down by, well, just as you said it, about 60. TJ on the full flank. They have no idea he's here. Gets 1 kill on Silly. Now challenges Dito inside the hard point. He's got 1 more player to beat inside closet. Not going to get that one. 50 seconds separating these two teams. 1 minute and 58 left. They need to get almost every single bit of time on this yellow hard point.
Silly, though, able to get the first 2, looking for the 3rd. TJ cleans him up, but not before Llama can come and support.
All the way
ISO
out.
able to win it. They get the spawns out, and again, last time around, they locked it down for the majority of the time. This is ISO's hill. This is their time to get right back in this game.
Well, when Classic's flooding down through middle ambulance, it's going to be tough to stop. Finally, the bullets connecting with him. Did he just stick somebody with that Semtex? No, he did not. That was just a hit marker from the other one damaging a player. Saints trying to stay alive. He gets cut down. What was a 60-second lead is down to just 20. Chance we have ourselves a game.
Without a doubt, it is looking like Elevate's putting on a lot of pressure. The kills getting traded back and forth. Also, the good spawns going in favor of Elevate. Llama's going to have to do something crazy. He's going to get taken down. Saints was able to pick up 2. Dito trying to push in the front, but Elevate a little bit too strong. That team kill, though, the factor right there. TJ gets taken down by Slack, and ISO able to get those final 10 seconds of scrap time. It's going to be within just a few points for the final hill.
Goodness, as we head to the school hard point, only 4 seconds, 3 seconds separating these two teams. A beautiful nade from Llama. He'll start the push for Isolation. TJ is going to be a massive factor on this hard point. How long can he stay alive in the objective? He'll call that out to his teammates. They know at least one is pushing towards that locker's window. Llama again with the entry nade kills, but Havoc gets cut down. Now a 20-second lead and growing. They still have the full hold. Can they just stop one final push from Isolation? 2 kills go in Elevate's favor. Make it 3. They've got 1 more player to beat in school window, but that's already going to do it. A flawless hold for as long as they need from Elevate. They'll go up 3-1. Chance, you were wrong on your prediction. This was not the respawn that Isolation will snake.
I mean, they just got destroyed on that final hit. There's a 3-point difference between the two teams after a hotel, and then Elevate just completely flipped the switch. It took 25 seconds before a single player even got inside of of that hill, and TJ was just waiting for him. It's an easy gunfight to win. You need at least 2 people breaking in at all times. And ISO, they played well, I would certainly say, but Elevate was too strong through and through. You know, the Hotel Hardpoint was the only thing they really had going for them overall, and they just came up short in the end.
There's TJ on your final kill cam. Consistency, 36 and 32, continuing to stay alive inside that hard point. Great stuff from him. One thing I do want to point out, though, Slacked, 37 kills, 32 deaths, 12 captures, and 4 defends, leading his team in almost every single category that game. And if we can we really quickly put the camera on that Elevate lineup? Is Slacked in this chair? Look at that hoodie he has on. That's the Slacked apparel. Tweet Slacked, say, hey, get Courage a hoodie, please. He wants an XL and maybe a hug. Don't go anywhere. Game number 5 after this quick commercial break.
All right, now what we have is ISO on the brink of elimination, just like my voice.
Wow, that's why you wanted to bring it in.
God, no,
just
it's
for that
so
one.
bad. No, I was going to talk about more about how, like, again, backs against the wall. This is the same scenario they had when they were playing Optic Gaming. They went down 3-1, won the S&D, were close in the uplink, just fell short in the very end with, you know, that, like, double miss of a dunk coming in. I think it was silly that had that happen. But, again, they've been in the situation before. I would definitely say Optic Gaming is a little bit better than Elevate. So, again, maybe ISO fixes their past mistakes. But, again, backs against the wall, this is going to be a tough map for them to win.
It just said it to me. This could very well be the final match or final game on the Bravo stream this weekend. Tomorrow, all the matches will happen on the Alpha stream, but I have a feeling it's going to go all the way to game number 7. Dito just loves to play those long series, and to be quite honest with you, Chance, I want it to go all the way to round 11. I want the most exciting stuff to happen, just so you have to talk as much as possible, and just so your voice goes away forever.
Llama, gonna get that first blood with the grenade.
We played
right
chicken and I won.
On DJ Halley. Classic.
Let's go.
Gonna be able to get that trade, and nonetheless, either way, we're seeing quite a bit of passive play coming out of ISO on offense.
Yeah, with the 3-on-3 right now. Llama just seems to always connect with that nade, but Classic's got the Morse in the back of the map.
Oh,
and
God.
with the bal in hand. Where did he get that bal from? Where is Classic?
Classic's in the back of the map with the sniper rifle.
Who did he get the sniper from? Oh, his teammate that got naded. That's pretty sick.
So was that final kill cam.
Oh my God, Classic just got up. Nikki D is hyped. I wasn't paying, I was looking at you like I realized, and I looked over to you. Havoc tries to challenge. He says, no, no, no.
Yo, what if right there he killed Saints instead of his teammate and then got dropped? What a crazy finish that would have been. Of course, that doesn't make a difference. Elevate takes the first round pretty much because of Nikki D.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he got the ace.
Oh, I didn't even notice that one. That's why he was getting all hyped.
We are terrible at our jobs.
Honestly, Chance, it's been a long day from start to finish. So many matches, and you've been casting so many best of sevens, man. You're a trooper. Shout out to Chance, dealing with all the stuff with his voice, being completely shot. Really, nothing much you could do about that one other than kind of push through. You got an obligation to fulfill, and you're going to make it happen. Classic hasn't been shut down yet. 5-0, Mount 5-1. Caster's Curse. In that respect, round going to isolation. That one was quick, to say the least.
2 defensive round wins in a row. That time again, Elevate trying to come out with the aggression, and they paid the price for it, of course. You got to be able to trade the kills. And, well, when the only person on your team killing things is Classic, it can work out once, but it's not going to work out twice.
Great round from isolation. Elevate's 5 rounds away from playing on Championship Sunday.
Yep.
That's something key to remember. Isolation is 5 rounds away from bringing this game back to 3-2 and then playing a must-win respawn game mode in regards to come back up.
Without a doubt, of course, every single series right now is going to be must-win for them, but you can see it is going to be a very closely contested. Elevate, though, going to be able to get that 3-2 advantage. Saints, well, you know, when he gets 1, he always gets 2. Well, you know, what happens when you get 2? You just get 3.
Big thing to point out, too, would be if ISO loses here in this game. Are you all right, Chance?
I'm dying, man.
Dude, it's all right. You're fine, dude. You're good. Big thing to point out is that if ISO loses this game, does that mean in their 2 series they lost this weekend, they didn't win a single respawn game mode?
Not sure.
Because they lost 4-2 to Optic. Optic won the Hardpoint. They won the game 3. They won the game 4. And they lost both SMDs. Yeah, that makes sense. Then if they lose here, they'll lose 4-1. And the only one they won was a Search and Destroy. Yeah, that's pretty heartbreaking if you're an ISO fan. I know the hashtag ISOFam out there always is supporting their stream, or their team. I don't know what I'm saying at this point.
You see, though, Classic going to be around with the gunfight. They are going to be working for the disadvantage. He also is surrounded by 3 players. Zito eventually able to pick him off. Slack, he's in 1v3. You're not going to be able to win that again. ISO's S&D game is on point. They've been looking fantastic. Can't remember the last time they've lost an S&D either. I honestly think they might even be perfect this tournament. I think they've lost 1. But either way, they've been doing fantastic overall. You can even see TJ. We talked him up a little bit in the last Hardpoint. Now he's on the donut cam.
Yeah, if they haven't lost 1 S&D this tournament, I'd love to see the stats on that, because that's definitely an option. We know that they've only had the opportunity of losing 4 S&Ds that we can't think of. That's games 2 and 5 versus Orbit, and games 2 and 5 versus ON. If someone can update us on if ISO's lost an S&D so far this tournament, I'd love to see that, because that would be quite the feat for Elevate and the statement if they win this series.
Well, Elevate are going to be in good shape to, at the very least, win this round. Llama's going to be in the 1v4. And, well, we saw Havoc do it again against Optic Gaming, but that was months ago.
Defense round, continuing to win.
So, who do you think is going to win the next round? Of course, ISO will be on defense.
I mean, it's going to be one of those that we've seen it time and time again on Riot, right? Where it's like offense wins, offense wins, offense wins, offense wins, and then the one team that wins the defense kind of just runs away with the map from there. I think right here we're going to see another defensive win from ISO. Then we're going to have Elevate win a defensive round. Then they're going to win an offensive round, and then they're going to win 1 more to win the map 6-3.
Bold prediction. We're going to see if that pays off. Of course, it is going to be ISO that has to clutch up this one just to be able to keep that prediction alive. And, of course, right now, you do see it is going to be the bomb going towards the A site. Classic looks like he's already getting that plan. ISO, they've been doing this in the past where they let the bomb go down, and they have not been successful with breaking either.
Classic rotating back. Gets the first blood with the help of his teammate TJ. Havoc peeking from that top yellow area. He's just trying to stay alive. Who's this near the site? That's going to be Saints playing the yellow steps. And in the back of the map is Slack. Oh, he just gets destroyed by Havoc. The accidental dash down. TJ in the 1-on-2. Trying to make a hero play. He gets cut down. A defensive round win, 3-3.
There you go. The prediction's still alive. Also, I'm proud of ISO for being able to pull that off as well again. I've seen it time and time again where they let that bomb get planted and they're not able to break. I was a little bit worried too. TJ was picking up kills with a sniper, picking up kills with a pistol, but of course you leave him in a 1v2. It's going to be too tough to work from, and you can see this series tied up again, as you said, 3-3. But it's a question, who is going to be able to win the first offense? Money's on ISO right here.
If you are just tuning in, we are in game number 5 of this series. One map away is Elevate from taking home this match win and moving on to play on Championship Sunday. Isolation would go home. Not what Dito wants to do after he won his first 2 series of this weekend in Game 7. Classic challenging. Llama getting first blood, though. Slack trying to answer back. He picks up a 2-piece of his own. Slack has been on point his last few S&Ds. Saints gets one. ISO throwing a round away.
Well, Philly got to get that 1v2 clutch with the pistol.
We've seen crazier things.
I mean, I don't know. Crazier things have happened in this world, but I don't know if this is going to be the moment. He's able to spot one, going to hunt him down, but then he's going to be right next to the second. Going to get too aggressive with that pistol instead of playing the bomb. And, of course, another defensive round win. And that's despite the fact that Llama kicks it off with a 2-piece.
This is the swing round chance. I said that ISO would win the defensive round, then Elevate would win another, and then Elevate would win this next offensive round. What do you think they need to do to win this first offense in this game?
Well, I think they could do more or less what they did last time, play aggressive on the bomb site, get it down, but then you got to make sure you win the gunfights. You know, they left TJ in like a 1v3 situation, and easier to do with the pistol in his back pocket. That's not what you want to have happen. Of course, now going for that first blood, gonna miss, gonna try to go for the second. Havoc gonna make them pay the price. This is definitely looking good for another defense, but TJ gonna make things interesting, tying it up to 3v3, but of course, Havoc making sure he gets that trade.
Heads up play to get super aggressive on TJ after he's double stunned. Yeah, this is going to be a defensive round win. 8 rounds, 8 defensive round wins. We're going to go all the way to a round 9. Pretty crazy stuff, to say the least. Llama in your final kill cam, 6-6. Chance, now I got to ask, who's going to be the first to break the cycle?
I already said it. I said ISO.
Oh, really? I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Said that last time around.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. If you ever want to listen to me, I always give incredibly accurate predictions. Ignore the bracket show where I got pretty much everything wrong. But other than that,
I think a lot of people did, honestly.
Yeah, pretty much. Even right off the bat, stuff was getting rough. Of course, TJ, I thought ISO was going to be able to pull it off. TJ said, no, thank you.
TJ, I'm pretty sure, is shooting small children at his enemies right now.
That's horrible.
Yeah, he's launching them. And
that's legitimately horrible. Yeah, that's what you get for saying something like that. Now he's got to shoot small children and the remaining 2 ISO players because they're going to clutch up the 2v4 and win the first offense.
Like, kids are having fun. Like, they're not hurt. It's just, they're just like giving him hugs to death. 1v1, TJ and Dito.
The question is, does TJ get the ace, or does Dito finish this off and clutch the 2v4?
I'll watch TJ then, because we want to see him pick up this ace. This is a very intense 1v1. This is to break the cycle. If Dito can win this, it'll be the first time an offensive team has won in this game number 5. TJ slowly getting towards his door.
Both of these guys are playing so ridiculously
They're so close to each other.
And Dito's got to make the move first. TJ can afford to be patient. He can play it 50-50.
TJ needs to do. TJ just sits here. That's the way to make it happen. He's going to pick up the kill on Dito. TJ reads him like a book. Dito was playing that one very well as well, but TJ was in there the entire time. He gets the ace, and that is going to put Elevate 1 round away from closing out the series.
And even saw Nicky D right there. Mr. Classic himself, the second closest man to your screen, was even pointing out his head, being like, man, that's just smart right there. TJ outthinking his opponent, outplaying the entire team as well.
Apparently, ON beat ISO in 2 S&Ds yesterday, so we're just making stuff up.
Well, I mean, I certainly was. I even casted that match, and I had no idea. I can't remember a thing. Oh, my God. He did this before. He was able to get the first nade kill, got the second kill, and then Elevate immediately traded up and got the next 2. Saints, though, only going to be able to get 1. Slack's going to be in the 1 versus 3. Make it a 1 versus 1. What the hell did Slack just do? Another situation.
Did he
Last
spot
time
on top?
TJ
He's giving away his position.
This I'm going against Llama. Llama, though, not able to take him down yet, but, of course, Llama on the defense. But he needs to clutch up for his team. If he fails to do so, Isolation will be eliminated from this tournament.
A very important 1v1. Dito and the ISO squad trying so hard to get over into this Season 3. They've gotten this far. What a heartbreaking way to go out losing 2 series without winning a single respawn. I'll tell you right now, that's what ISO has to work on. The push coming in from Slack. He picks up the bomb. Did he get spotted by Llama? It does appear so. Llama does have that knowledge. He knows Slack has to plant. Let's see the timing. He does have his exo mute. Every sign is pointing towards him getting this. Slack doesn't check him. Llama picks it up. We're going to a round 11. An offensive team has yet to win. We'll see. That's kind of funny to point out. Will the offensive team in this round clutch up and be the first to break the cycle in round 11 of all situations? That would be absolutely nuts.
Well, I mean, I said it before. ISO are going to get the offensive win. They're going to be on offense. They're going to get the win. Dang it, they're on defense. I don't know anymore. I don't know what's going on.
Well, Elevate, if there's ever a time to win an offensive round, it's this one right here. You do not want to give them a chance by going to game number 6. Off the start of things, they're going to triple stack B. Already in middle map is Classic. He's getting tagged up, but he hasn't fallen as of yet. That's a major momentum swing in this round. They're going to flood all the way down this A street. Will it work out in their favor? Silly's there with his bow. They haven't spotted him as of yet. He picks up 1 kill. TJ gets one of his own. A second kill coming in Silly's favor. He's clutching up for his team. TJ spots one though, and he falls off the map. TJ just fell off the map. It's a 1v2. Saints gets 1. He tries to stay alive. A 1v1 to end this game. Silly to keep his team's tournament hopes alive against Renato Saints in the 1-on-1.
All the
Saints tries to peek.
timing.
The COD timing was just so bad. He goes to challenge. Saints picks it up. Oh my God, what a heartbreaking COD timing. Isolation Empire's tournament has ended. All the work they did in Season 3 finished right there. Tom and Jerry and the Elevate lineup continue to roll on the second day of the event. They lost yesterday in Epsilon in a heartbreaking 6-game series. And then today, they win versus TK in 6 games. They win versus Envy in 7 games. They win in 5 games versus ISO. They've earned themselves a spot on Championship Sunday. They are still alive to play for that grand prize.
And how heartbreaking is that ace that TJ was able to pull off? If you don't let this 16-year-old kid kill your entire team, you win that and you move on in your series. And, you know, tournament dreams are still alive. But no, TJ, the man, the myth, he's not a legend yet. He's got more time on the plate, but nonetheless played phenomenally. Elevate as a team, that entire series, were playing just outstanding, beating him 4-1 in a convincing fashion pretty much the entire time. It was close, though. It was a good series.
Isolation has a nice fan group out there who are big supporters of this team. Heartbreaking to see them lose there in their best game mode in round 11. That COD timing is going to hurt for a while.
TJ even jumped off the map at the end.
Yeah, they helped him even more. They helped him even more falling off the map. Well, that is going to do it not only for Isolation, but for the Bravo stream this weekend. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Unless something ridiculously changes in the scheduling, but I don't think that'll happen. Chance, don't shake my hand. You're not feeling well. It's been a pleasure. Guys, have a fantastic evening. Go to the Alpha stream. Optic Gaming versus Epsilon for the winner's bracket matchup still has to go on. I believe Denial versus FaZe is also still happening. So much more COD action. Love you all. Stay tuned.